She went in my garage and set herself on fire.
Smith tells us that woman is in the hospital badly burned. Now she and her children are left grappling with heartbreaking questions.
Where am I going to go? What am I going to do?
According to the Stockton Fire Department, 6 people were hurt, including Smith's daughter, who is 9 months pregnant.
As far as the other kids, the other 4 that went to the hospital, everybody's been released. My 16-year-old who put out the fire, she did get a lot of inhalation and smoke. They did chest x-rays and things of that nature, and they sent her home with a breathing machine and asthma inhalers.
We asked investigators any details about that other family member, but we have not heard back about that. Live in Stockton, I'm Anahit Jafari, KCRA 3 News.
Well, it's just a terrible situation for all involved there, Anahit. Terrible incident that sent several people to the hospital.
We want to warn you, some of these details may be hard to hear. KCRA 3's Anahita Jafari is live at a home on Bishop Avenue, the scene of a fire. So, Anahita, what can you tell us?
Yeah, it's truly heartbreaking, Lisa. The fire did start back there at the garage of the home, but you can see next to me there have been a lot of items pulled out. You can see a television, lots of clothing, a lot of it just burnt, damaged, and destroyed. I mean, at this point, the family's saying that they're still trying to just make sense of what happened last night. We do have to warn you, some of the details from this story are hard to hear.
My 16-year-old daughter grabbed the water hose and went in the garage and started putting out the fire. Honestly, if it wasn't for her, we probably would be in a lot worse situation.
Sarah Smith, along with family and friends, were outside the home when they noticed the smoke.
There's black smoke coming out of your garage, and everybody was like, what? And he was like, your garage is on fire, and you could just see the smoke billowing out through this underneath the garage right here. You see how they ripped it open?
While investigators have not released a cause, Smith says what happened is unimaginable.
Yesterday evening, I had a family member come over to the house, and she went in my garage and set herself on fire.
Smith tells us that woman is in the hospital badly burned. Now she and her...
She set herself on fire. Imagine that happening. Somebody, a family member no less, comes over and say, hey, I'm going to go hang out in the garage for a minute. And then they set themselves on fire. And you lose your house over it. I mean,
not a good thing to happen. Not a good thing to happen. Thank you. Not a good thing to happen, especially like it's a family member and they set themselves on fire. Like, what the hell? Maybe they had some like, mental thing going on. I don't know. They didn't really say anything else about it.
Yeah, either that or some drug things going on. I mean, but I mean, you know, I wish I had more details on this because this is the kind of thing that always gets me scratching my head. And you know, I'm interested in thought processes. Like, you know, what was going through this person's mind right before they did that? You know, because I mean, who does that? You know, Buddhist monk protesting a war. You know, I mean, other than that, you know, somebody setting themselves on fire. And I feel bad for the family. I hope I hope they had the proper fire insurance and all that good stuff. And I don't even know if they were renting or if they owned. But you know, something, and you've got family members to take care of, something like that, you know, quickly snowballs into a catastrophic situation, and it is what it is. So we had that happen this week, and then we also had this here.
A San Joaquin County woman is under arrest for a homicide dating back to December. The sheriff's office says Monica Bajaras allegedly shot a man and a woman. The woman was identified as Obdulia Sanchez. She died from her injuries at a hospital. Barajas was booked into the San Joaquin County Jail on charges of murder and attempted murder this week. But the case has received great attention due to the backstory of the victim, Sanchez, who in 2018 was convicted and sentenced to 6 years in prison for her involvement in a car crash that killed her 14-year-old sister. As you may recall, Sanchez was broadcasting a live Instagram stream while driving intoxicated at the time of that crash. She was released after 2 years in jail and then killed in that December homicide for which Barajas was arrested this week.
No way.
Yeah, and
2 years of a 6-year sentence.
A South Sacramento
replex
is badly damaged following.
Stop that. This was a shooting that happened like shortly after the mass shooting at the end of November, and the backstory was the chick that got shot. She has a prior history, and I kind of remember the case. I think it was 2018, and she was out partying. It sounded like, if I remember correctly, and they got in a wreck, and not good. But apparently, she had some beef with this other chick, and she wound up getting shot. Like I said, that happened not long after the mass shooting. So. And that was one of the shoots that started compiling just right after the mass shooting. So,
that's just bad, dude. Especially like she did those things. She shot someone like 2 years after being in jail, right? You think that they would learn and behave themselves, right? But they were released after 2 years, and now, like, that's going on. Come on, man. Don't they learn? Like, I get it. You spend time in incarceration, and it's like, like, don't be stupid. If it's something that you're like meticulously trying not to do, and I'm not saying like to get away with it. I'm just saying like be smart. But like, I don't know. It's just it's just ridiculous. And they lowered her sentence, so it's like. They believe that she was like rehabilitated,
Oh yeah, well listen, they lower a lot of sentences in California here, and and I think everybody remembers when Newsom emptied out the jails over COVID, and unfortunately that resulted in some victims too. So. That part's really, kind of no surprise to hear about that. But now we have like, two chicks. They're both, sketchy characters, and they wind up in this kind of shenanigans. And it's almost like there's a gravitational pull amongst people, of certain ilks. Like. Losers will tend to attract other losers into like a gravitational pull.
You mentioned gravitational pull. I mean, they showed a picture of that one girl, like with the blonde hair. She looked a little heavier set. I don't know. She looked like she had a gravitational pull. God damn, girl, get a salad in you.
Yeah.
Get a big ass shoulders. You see that? Fucking bro.
Yeah. And we see a lot of that around here. I have a standing joke that if you go to like say restaurants around here, and you take a look in a kitchen, what do you see? You see a lot of muscles, tattoos, facial hair, crappy attitudes, and that's just the women. So, yeah. But I digress. So anyway, let's see. I did have a. This was death of an 83-year-old in Stockton.
A late afternoon fire today. The flames broke out around 4:40 inside one unit of this residence on 37th Street near 44th Avenue. The fire also damaged a neighboring unit. Sacramento firefighters, however, were quickly able to knock those flames down. There were no injuries, and the cause is under investigation tonight.
All right, that was...
Even several people he arrested thanked him.
Today, family members and hundreds of members of law enforcement said their final goodbyes to Sergeant Jason Whalen, who died of a medical emergency while on duty last month. Thank you for joining us for this special After the Game edition of Fox 40 News. I'm Dennis Shanahan. Today, the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office honored Sergeant Whalen during a public memorial service at the Christian Life Center in Stockton. Fox 40's Josie Hart has more on how loved ones are remembering him and how his family would like others to honor his memory.
He was a cop. He loved it. He loved being a deputy sheriff.
A sad goodbye as friends, family, and hundreds of law enforcement officers gathered at Christian Life Center in Stockton to say farewell to fallen San Joaquin Sergeant Jason Whalen, his young children walking hand in hand behind his casket. But on this day, those who knew him are simply trying to honor the good times.
Jason and I first met in courtship, marriage, and family class at College of San Mateo when I was 17 and he was 19. He said something during class that was offensive enough to me. I told my mom about it when I got home. About 2 weeks later, I talked to my mom again and told her I was going to marry him someday.
Jason Whalen died in February during a medical emergency while he was on duty. It came as a devastating loss to his co-workers at the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office, many who had rushed to save his life, and a loss to the community that he spent many years protecting.
Even several people he arrested thanked him.
Jason, the type of leader he was in our department, he was a mentor to others. Other people just loved working around him, and they just flourished under Jason's leadership. Me, they assigned me a dog.
Authorities say the sergeant had finalized the adoption of his fourth and youngest child just days before he suddenly passed. His family says that while life without Jason will be difficult, they hope people will honor his memory by simply spreading kindness.
We told jokes and stories about work and crazy people that live around here that he gets to deal with in his line of work. And the last thing I said to him, because my wife Ty got home and I wanted to spend time with her, I said, I love you, Jace. And he said, I love you too, bro.
He is being remembered as a devoted father, husband, a man of strong faith.
I first met Jason at church, and his larger-than-life personality always filled the void of awkwardness that I left open.
And someone who always protected others.
He'll still be watching over us.
This was the end of his watch here on earth, but the beginning of his watch in heaven.
It is with great sorrow that we mourn the passing of the employee 410, Sergeant Jason Whalen. Your dedication to duty and devotion to your faith, family, and friends were unwavering. May you rest in peace. Thank you for your service. We have the rest from here.
In Stockton, covering local news that matters, Josie Hart, Fox 40 News.
Okay, rest in peace, Deputy Whalen. As I mentioned last week, I remember the dude from when I was transporting for the coroner, and yeah, nice guy, nice dude, and good deputy. So yeah, he'll be sadly missed. So
ESM legend, shout out. That was my first college right there. I transferred to USF, University of San Francisco, not University of South Florida, as it's commonly mistaken with.
Oh, but, what was that, San Mateo? What they mentioned?
Yeah, College of San Mateo. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So.
Yeah, that's where they met. Him and his wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he seemed like a cool guy. I mean, I don't know. It sucks when like someone genuine like that, and even like, just like he seemed like a good police officer from the way like everybody was talking. And,
yeah.
You also knew the guy. Probably like I don't know, ran into
professionally.
Yeah, professionally. Yeah. And that's unfortunate, especially like when there's like that genuine kind people that are lost from the world. It diminishes like the whole society. There's like a hole, and it's tough to fill. So.
Yeah, and especially in law enforcement, you definitely need good people like that.
Good people and good police. He seemed like a really good police officer, and it's definitely a loss for San Joaquin. So rest in peace.
Well, hopefully he sets some standards and a legacy that will carry on, and yeah, we'll generate some future deputies like him, because Lord knows we can use them around here. That's for damn sure. So, yeah, and yeah. So speaking of like law enforcement and crime and stuff, our Stockton PD put up this week some stats, and basically, you know, crime overall is down, and you know, homicide rates are down, violent crime is down, and they give some pretty good percentages on all of that, and which is fine. It's great to hear. But what I pointed out before is that it's part of a national trend, and this is just a screenshot that this was from an article on the Council on Criminal Justice, and they published a big article. They've actually been tracking the stats, FBI stats and whatnot, and if you read through that report, and we do have the link on our Port City Uncensored Facebook page, so people can find it there to read the whole article. But these are just a few of the highlights, and pretty much they bear out even number wise what our local PD posted. And again, this is part of a national trend. Crime stats are down nationally. Cities all over are experiencing that. And again, not to take away from the efforts of our local guys, who, by the way, are still without a contract, you know, but I digress. You know, so yeah, locally we're going to benefit from the national trend, and a big part of that is because federal crackdown. You know, the FBI is, you know, Cash Patel got his agents out of the political business in Washington and sent them out to cities all over, and now they're actually going after narco traffickers and human traffickers and bank robbers and, you know, legitimate bad people. And one of the stats they pointed out here locally was I think the rate of closing the cases on homicide is up to like 66%, which is a good number. You know, however, when you read the final arrest report, a lot of the times it'll say that, okay, the guy was apprehended by U.S. Marshals. You know, somebody they'll murder somebody here, they'll go on the run, and then like a week later, something. Oh yeah, he was busted over in Antioch or up in Sac or something by U.S. Marshals. Okay,
it's like federal. That's federal. Yeah.
Right. And if you're taken in by U.S. Marshals, you are a legit bad guy. You are somebody they have an honest to God hard on for, and they want your ass. So yeah, shout out to those U.S. Marshals that you know, follow up on a lot of shit that starts locally. So yeah, with all of that, generally speaking, crime is down, although that did not dispel the fact that we did have a couple of shootings here this past week. There was one at American Legion Park. Nobody died. And then there was another one on South Side. So, you know, while the numbers are down, it's still, you know, good to be vigilant and be careful when you're out there, and keep your head on a swivel. And you know, if it's after dark, it might be a good idea to stay inside, especially south of Harding. So yeah, so that's what's new on the front. As far as the political front, honest to God, the only thing to report really is that there's, you know, not much to report.
I think the only thing that, like, because I try to look up some Stockton news, a couple of 21-year-old dies after being hit by a car during a station in Stockton. That was a couple days ago. Yeah. Stockton rapper released from jail after mass shooting at daughter's party.
Yeah, he was there.
Gang member Luciano Guerrero, who was held birthday last November. So performed that as a member of Asian Boys and Muddy Boys gang, admitted to his parole violation during his hearing on Monday, March 6th. And that's as far as I guess I can read that article.
Yeah, yeah.
There's that. And then also allegation against Cesar Chavez.
Oh yeah, that's a major story.
94-year-old, what was her name?
Dolores Huerta.
Yeah, Huerta came out of the blue after 60 years of keeping this secret, so she doesn't diminish what he stood for. Is coming out by saying she was sexually assaulted by him, leading to 2 pregnancies.
Yeah.
So really strong allegations. Definitely something that happened. 1980s. It seems like 60 years ago, or no, 60s, around 60s, 70s.
Oh yeah, he started way back in the day.
Yeah, so definitely not good for that. I think what his movement meant is a lot. It shouldn't be overshadowed by this. It's not good. I'm sure a lot of good movements definitely have their shadows, their darker
Well,
sides,
okay.
the flip of the coin, if you will. But I think that what Chavez stood for workers and people in the farmland and actual and Latinos and Chicanos and Mexicans and Mexican Americans should not be overlooked from her allegations. And if it's true, if it is, and I think that there might need to be a little bit more evidence coming in to prove what's going on. But again, if it's true, it is sad. I don't think it should diminish what he worked for. Just saying.
Well. No. That goes to say the least. But like I pointed out, I commented on it because the big talk now is they want to change the name of anything that has his name on it to her name. All right, and we have the Chavez Library, which is the main library downtown. So I'm curious to see how that goes. But
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like finding out. I mean, it's almost as I wouldn't say he's that prominent, but Malcolm X. I'm sure he did some things on the side. Maybe he.
Well, that was the point I was making. That this
Or
is
like I'm
proof.
okay doing something. It's like I mean that's so long ago. It's like I don't know.
Well, yeah. And the thing is that no organization, movement, or entity is immune from this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned like Martin Luther King. Yeah, he was a notorious womanizer. His phone was majorly tapped by J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI, and also his closest aide, one of his 2 closest aides, was a card-carrying member of the Communist Party USA and had connections all the way back to Moscow. And JFK had 2 meetings with Dr. King, one at the White House, and both times he told him, I can't get Hoover off your back until you get rid of that commie that you're hanging around with. And so yeah, he got caught on tape. He was a womanizer. Jim Jones at one point was so popular and over in San Francisco. There's a laundry list of famous politicians from that time that got photo ops with him. Jim fucking Jones. So again, when I heard about this, I really wasn't that surprised. It just, those kind of backroom shenanigans go on amongst, the leaders, elected leaders, people that are in positions, of power, and it happens on a local level too. Okay, because trust me, a lot of these local guys that I bitch about, a lot of them like swapping wives. There's a lot of wife swapping that goes on in City Hall, and I'm not going to go into that, but that's a whole other story. But
If it's not happening on an island, it's happening in the fields.
yeah. First thing I was thinking is, was Caesar on Epstein's island? Did his name come up in the files or something? But
Uh,
then, you know, yeah. I mean, yeah, she's like kind of an icon, and to those particular people, like in that movement, yeah, yeah, he's gonna have a lot more stature than as to like the general population, but yeah, that's actually the last few days has been the big story, and like I said, the race now is a lot of people want to get his name off of buildings and stuff and get hers on there. So I mentioned that. Well, I guess a lot of sign painting guys will be getting a bump here. And we'll have to see what happens with that. But yeah.
Jason Lee commented according to the Stockton Record,
Mm-hmm.
they released an article with a statement from Jason Lee, the vice mayor of Stockton, and Huerta grew up in Stockton, so it's definitely relate. It's all connected in that realm of where people are and everything. Jason Lee said, Dolores Huerta, decades of dedication, leadership, and advocacy of farm workers, immigrants, marginalized communities has shaped the labor movement in ways that will be felt for generations to learn of the abuse that she endured and her decision to carry that pain in silence to protect a movement she helped build is both shocking and deeply heartbreaking, Lee said in a statement. As a survivor of child molestation myself, I understand the weight of shame, guilt, and complicated emotions that often come with protecting your abuser. It is a burden no one should have to carry. I want to thank Dolores Huerta for her courage in coming forward and for transforming her pain into power. Her voice continues to uplift not only farm workers, but also survivors who have navigated their own journeys toward healing. Oh, right. Unimaginable pain. Added, he stands with Lee. Added, he stands with Huerta, with farm workers, with everyone who survived unimaginable pain. Your story matters, your healing matters, and your courage is changing the world. Lee said. Good words from Mayor Lee. Definitely can relate to how she felt and she's feeling. And especially the fact that she kept silent. She definitely had to endure that for a long, long time, and she led to pregnancy. Like I'm not sure if it. I don't think at the time she could have, taken care of that, but I'm sure she has kids because of it. And yeah, it's just not a good thing to happen, and especially from people who have done so much good, right?
Mm.
It definitely these are issues that happen across all politics, no matter how good you think the government that you have or movement or whatever. There's always a bad to it, and again, I don't think if they really want to, if I think they should ask the people to change these names because a lot of it's ingrained. A lot of it's like, I mean, then you can take a look at artistry, like Michael Jackson and his allegations, or like even various other like JFK and him and his interests with Marilyn Monroe. So
Yeah.
there's a lot
I
of
tell
that.
you what, if you really want something juicy from that time period, read the memoirs of Lady Bird Johnson, LBJ's wife. Holy shit. Okay, JFK is an altar boy compared to LBJ. Yeah. If that interests you, check it out. He was, oh yeah. Don't even get me started on that motherfucker. But yeah. Raving alcoholic.
Lyndon Johnson. Okay.
Yeah. Womanizer. He had buzzers set up for buttons for Secret Service guys. Oh, let me know if you see my wife coming, And he's chatting up all the secretaries and interns and shit. Oh yeah. He was into that shit way before Bill Clinton, Bill Clinton got in trouble. Everybody thought, like it's something new or something. Hell no, man. These motherfuckers are, Yeah,
You
they're
know,
fucking degenerate.
I mean, it's just a shame. It's a shame that happened to her and everything. But Stockton News just wanted to bring it up. But that's all from me. I'm gonna try
It,
to
it
when you're
makes
doing
you
when you're
wonder
doing a
if
segment or like a video, I'm gonna try to like look at some Stockton headlines and see if like it's something you didn't cover. But yeah, I just want to
well,
mention that.
it makes you wonder if there's many women around like today that would take that route. With all the multi-million dollar lawsuits and paternity suits and
I'm
it, it,
sure. I'm sure that's definitely a route that people, have thought about and probably have taken. And there hasn't been any coverage of it because of what's been going on or the news networks or who's connected. So I'm sure that there's like some sort of the filth is there. The filth you can definitely look hard enough and you don't need a Swiffer to look at that filth. You don't need a vacuum to take care of that because you can definitely look for it and
mhm.
it's there. It's there. But it's just sad. It's decent people, these decency and having common courtesy has left the building or left the planet. So it's very barbaric, especially in those like high power levels. Of what's going on. So yeah, sad
Yeah,
world.
yeah, Scotty, we haven't
Local
heard from
Stockton
you.
man.
Yeah,
Stockton local man. Man
you have
Stockton
you
local.
have, you have any thoughts on all of this?
Uh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, what I think is my downtown library is named after Caesar Chavez, and I've been going there since I was a kid. So that was a bit of a it's like the Game of Thrones ending. You didn't quite expect it. Like you thought you were gonna get more, but it really sucked. So that's pretty much how I looked at Caesar Chavez. It's like he started off great and he ended horribly. And he got me too, believe it or not. He's been dead since the fucking 90s. So I wondered who else, but I also think about like this though, is like Epstein, right? How deep does it go, right? Well, what if Chavez was on Epstein Island, right? Not really, but it's more like how many more people under Stockton politics may be similar to like that, because I think it was very common back in the day because the farmers were this is what my family tells me, is that it was very common for farmers to what's it called, the unions, that sometimes the girls or young boys get sexually assaulted and shit, and they don't report it because it would look bad for their union, right? Their movement wouldn't get very much traction if the leader of said movement was found out to be harassing little kids. So then everyone who's funding this would be like, yeah, that's not a good look, Caesar. So guess what? Farmers don't get rights, and they pretty much just stagnate. So it's kind of got me thinking, right? Is how many more truths or so-called truths do we have that have propped up a lot of good things in our society, but are kind of built on a lie, right? So this dude did, for Martin Luther King, for example. What if he turned out to be like Cesar Chavez, right? It's just a hypothetical, right? Is that where does the buck end? If they all have shitty pasts and it's years later, who's to say that skeletons will come out of the closet? And if they do, how does this affect us going further? For example, I'm using the library downtown Stockton, Cesar Chavez Library. Are they going to rename it? What are you going to call it then? Just downtown Stockton Library or some shit?
I think this is that level of like,
no, they want to name it to her name, Huerta.
it's like one can argue
Good
it's a
idea.
level of like conformity, for governments to conform to this like, idea of like, hey, this is bad. We should not be celebrating this guy, even though I think it's as a society, he should still be like, at least celebrated with what he did. Now, again, what he did to women and Huerta and maybe others too. I mean, we won't know. A lot of them aren't alive. Except her and maybe a few others. But it's tough. It's tough to do that, and I think California always has that like sudden urge to be like, oh, let's conform, and it's like, yeah, it's good, definitely. I wouldn't. I would try to note her resume over his, just to see like where, how much good did she do to deserve to like have a day named after her? Okay, like she came out after so many years, and like why now? Why now? Is it because of the end of your life? You know, you wanna leave something behind, and it's like, I'm gonna make my mark. You know,
I have a point to say. That's also a good point. The timing is kind of interesting because, like, why now? Why not 5 years earlier? Why not 10 years? Why not when Me Too, the
yeah,
movement, actually when it was popping off? Like when you heard about it, like Harvey Weinstein type shit. Why not then? When it's greatest height? What that could have maximized the impact, would it not? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
And again, man, it was, it seemed like a different time back then. I mean, yeah, I'm sure, like, it's in today, right? A lot of, I feel like women empowerment is so great that, a lot of these, this might be a more looked, this might be more focused topic. But again, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to look at it from both sides. I don't like that. I don't like seeing this, especially from people. Oh, we lost him. Yeah, I don't like seeing that, especially with like a civil rights movement leader, But at the end of the day, like, how much good did she really do to deserve to, like, have a day named after her, or like, um, a couple libraries. Yeah, if the county wants to change a school, sure, I would let the people vote on it. That's really it.
Yeah, that'd be a good
And because
idea.
then someone new, maybe in 20 years, California is going to flip to be a Republican state, and then bring them back. So it's like what's the point? I mean, like, it doesn't. It's all cyclical at the end of the day, and we're probably, like, generations from now, like a generation or two later, like, I'm sure Gen Alpha is going to be like, oh well, like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, civil rights and stuff, but all they care about is today and now, so. Plus, it's going to be kind of hard for a couple years. Like, oh yeah, on Cesar Chavez, I mean, on Huerta Boulevard, it's going to be like that. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Scotty brought up an interesting point about the timing. I always look at the timing of things, and it's like, why now? And yeah, in this case, it's kind of got you scratching your head a little bit, considering her age and how long ago it was. Because I mean, if you look at what happened after the George Floyd situation, and they took down all the Confederate monuments and shit, that was like, okay, the bad thing happened, and then the reaction was like right afterward. Here it's a bad thing, but it happened like decades ago.
Yeah.
But we're just
It's
hearing
kind of
about
like
yeah.
all of a sudden, with regards to, like, George Floyd, it's very abrupt. It's sudden. It's now.
White people,
It's like
right?
we kind of need to, change things, because this shouldn't continue, and it shouldn't here. Like, it shouldn't with what is going on with, um, Chavez and Huerta. So, I mean, it was so long ago that, like, this movement happened already. Like, this movement already happened, and it's not that it's like old news, but it is. It kind of is old news. It's from 60 years ago,
Hmm.
and, like, I mean, I don't know. Is it such a pressing matter to change a bunch of names and, legality and clerical changes now and everything? Like, I don't know. If it's, the effort, maybe. But I mean, oh yeah, this guy, you're going to celebrate him, but he also sexually assaulted women, but he also did all this good. It's like, what do I? Okay, interesting. At least we now know the truth. It's better to know the truth than nothing at all. But, kind of reacting to it like this, like, oh no, oh. I'm just like, keep the streets. If you want to rename your school, go ahead. But I mean, keep the street, bro. Whatever. It's like, because you gotta change addresses. People live there. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. It's the whole thing. The day thing, I guess. Like, they always add new days, and, like, I never got Cesar Chavez Day off from school or work. So whatever. But MLK Day, that fucking day's kept.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Um,
That's just my thought. It sucks that it happens, but I think the reaction is like a little too grand. It's like, oh, I bet you in 2 weeks this story's gonna go away. Like I bet you this is gonna go away.
No, it's possible. Well, I can't speak for the rest of the country because, like you said, she's from here, and I believe she lives in Tracy now, just over the hill there. So, locally, I want to see how the locals handle it,
Yeah.
'cause, these essentially are her people. And so we'll see. Like I said, like Scotty said, the Chavez Library downtown, that's the main library branch. And, it was a big deal, I understand, back in the day when they finally, got that thing, established and got it named and everything. So,
This dude got his own movie, right? I watched his fucking movie as a kid, and I'm like, damn, look at this guy and this shit coming out. Like, wait, is this the M. Night Shyamalan twist? It's not a twist though. So, like Jack and Alex are saying, this doesn't help Stockton in any capacity because our streets are fucked up, aren't they? I'll just name 5 things, and we'll see if this revelation does anything for these 5 things impacting Stockton. All right, let's go. 1, crime. Nope, doesn't do shit. Poverty doesn't do shit. Job economy doesn't do shit. City council, they'll talk about it to get a bunch of brownie points on social media. Still doesn't do shit. Final point. How does it help the future of Stockton when this is, like Alex is saying, already in the past? Like, if this happened like fucking like last week or last month, like, oh, it's big news, but the dude's dead, right? So it's like, well, he can't really come defend himself, and you know what I mean? So it's like, what were we saying again, Alex? He did a lot of good stuff, but then they're saying he did this stuff, but like, look what he did.
I think it's like it's kind of overshadowing the good, because a lot of good things, right, came out of
farmer
I'm sure Abraham Lincoln wasn't a good president. He didn't want to be in a war, Civil War president, right? But he pretty much made the Emancipation Proclamation where made slavery illegal, and that's like the biggest thing. But now if they come out and say, oh, he raped a hooker, it's like,
yeah, like 400 years ago.
Back slavery? Like, no, like, come on. It's just like, look at what they did, right? I'm sure what he was doing was way more important. I mean, Buddy was stressed, I mean, I don't know, like, again, he should not have done that, right? He should have been an honest man.
Is it a big deal?
But like, I mean, it is a big deal because, like, he is a prominent member, and
he fucked a hooker. Who cares, bro? He was 6'4". He was a Chad. He was the president, man. It's like, come on, look like
I was just using that.
Jack saying with JFK and Monroe. It's like all.
I was using that as like an example, but you know what I mean. It's like, I don't know. At some point, history and like the truth doesn't matter enough to be this reactionary.
Unless they tweet it. Unless they tweet about it.
Now, if it came out to where it's like, he was beating kids and like, constantly like, being racist against other people instead of Latinos, or like, I don't know.
We don't know that.
But I mean, again, like, it's tough, like, and it's only one person. It seems like it's only one person coming out and saying all this. So it's like,
yeah, that's what I've been hearing too. It's like, are there multiple other victims coming out all at once? Because then it would make sense. But all I'm hearing is that she's doing it 60 years later, and it's like, why not 10 years earlier?
And who's to say that he was the only one in the leadership position in that organization that was doing it?
Yeah, so why is it just him? Like Epstein. Yeah. I find it hard to believe that he's the only guy in the entire operation. There was nobody else. It was just one dude.
I'm sure Chavez's right hand man. Definitely. Dipped a stick in the magic. Or in the dark.
Or how much did they know?
And how much they know? Yeah.
You're hanging around with the guy all day, 7 days a week, and come on, you got to know something, right? That's usually the thing. But
that doesn't look good on when it comes to like social media brownie points. People want to be the good guy and have all this good stuff going on, but when you have things that threaten that image, they're like, hey, we can't have that,
Well, see, that's the thing to remember too. Now, back then, there was no internet, there was no social media, there was no instantaneous, so I could take a picture now and post it, and it's global.
Yeah, there's no Twitter.
No, today's a lot of people, maybe younger people too, especially, are looking at this situation through today's lens.
Because
No,
Twitter.
you got to think
Yeah.
about back then, where it was probably it was no doubt a lot easier to hide shit. Nowadays you got cameras everywhere,
Yeah.
and all you need is somebody with a phone to catch you at the wrong moment, and now you're trying to explain yourself on X or Instagram or whatever.
You'll be on our show.
Yeah, we live in entirely different times, and if this movement was going on today, and that happened to some woman today, would she take the same path as her, or would this go on blast on TikTok tomorrow and followed up by a lawsuit?
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope they do. And it must have been really tough to come forward, especially there's definitely some people who don't believe her or anything, and not that I'm saying I don't, but we've heard a lot of these
Yes.
where and it happened so long ago. It's not like it happened last year, or the dude's still alive, or he's dead, or some of his friends are still alive.
Oh, they're all dead, bro.
Buddy was born in 1920, and then he died in 93. So it's I don't know how many of his buddies are still alive, or his sons. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not prominent enough as a politician to decide, or a judge, or a lawyer, or investigator to take my time into this. But it sucks if this is true. Again, that happened to her. No woman should experience that ever. And if it does happen to you, man or woman, right?
Don't wait. Just report.
Other men, just please speak up, because hiding it, can definitely cause a lot more long-term pain and suffering. So, but again, don't wait 60 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, we got to pause for a second. We'll be right back.
Ad break.
Ha! Who knows what these guys are gonna do next? We'll be right back.
Welcome to Shady Mob Productions, where the vibes are always right and the passion runs deep.
Step into the sports network of N1 from the End Zone. Sit down for unfiltered conversations on Port City Uncensored, and surf the sound waves with Sonic Waves.
Different worlds, different shows. Click on that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops. Now, let's kick it. Guys, if you're into sports, wrestling, or just need some positivity and motivation, check out N1 from the End Zone and click on that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.
Listen up, dog owners. Every month, BarkBox delivers 2 brand new toys that will make your dog lose their mind, plus 2 full-size bags of treats so healthy you'll be tempted to steal one yourself. But don't. Trusted by over 8 million dogs who have literally never written a bad review. We're talking fully customized, tiny terror toys for Chihuahuas, indestructible beasts for your Rottie, allergy-friendly snacks for the drama queens with sensitive tummies. Even extra subscriber-only goodies if you want to go full spoiled. Right now, new subscribers get a free extra toy in every box for a whole year, and shipping is forever free. That's 12 bonus toys. Fair warning, once this starts, your dog will sprint to the door every time they hear a truck. So stop letting your dog down and click the link in the description, or scan that beautiful QR code and get your first BarkBox today, before your dog runs away. BarkBox, because your dog deserves better. Go! Join us every Saturday and don't miss the waves.
Sonic Waves. Watch what you listen to. Listen to me. It's Sonic Waves. Port City, uncensored. RFT, Port City,
And now, back to the show.
We are back, and we have the cat.
Oh yeah, it's her bath time. She's just licking the good old. Oh, there she is.
There she is.
Oh, yep. This is a reminder, folks, to take showers, stay clean. Because if my cat can do it, you can do it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
good advice.
Yeah.
Especially we have some warm weather here, don't we, Scotty?
It's fucking hot as shit, man. I'm sweating my balls off.
Yeah, I know. Talk about an early spring, man. It feels like an early summer, for
It's
Christ's sake.
March, man.
Yeah, yeah, I know. And I got to wait until Saturday to run my air conditioner because I got the part that I need that's coming for it. So,
Yeah, speaking of weather, you ever see Predator 2? The one with Danny
uh,
Glover?
yeah, it's been a while, and I
That's what
actually,
Stockton looks like right now, man. We got hot crime, we got hot weather, and we got probably some fucking alien ninja motherfucker hunts and shit from the trees, and it's like, that's Stockton, baby. But it's more like, isn't that what Stockton feels like? It's a never-ending hot combat zone. Like, it's fucking always tits up.
yeah, yeah, and
Look at the cat.
yeah, there's a kitty cat cleaning herself. Yeah, you mentioned Predator 2. That's the jacket I got. My one leather jacket.
Oh, shit, cool.
It's a replica of the one he wore in Predator 2.
Cool.
Yeah, there's this company, Leather Madness, and they make replica jackets like the Indiana Jones
Yeah, like the bad
jacket.
hoodie.
You get that.
Oh,
That
yeah, yeah.
the Eddie Murphy, the Beverly
Beverly Hills Cop.
I think it was the Detroit Lions jacket
Yeah.
that he had, the
The
varsity
bomber
jacket.
jacket.
You can get that. They got the X-Men, Captain America, and so yeah, they make like all replica jackets and shit. So yeah, I got the Predator 2. So.
I wish Stockton sold leather jackets like biker shit because every time I go to a store, like, sorry, man, we don't sell leather jackets here. I'm like, bro, I just want to look like the fucking Terminator. I always have to Amazon my shit, though.
Yeah, you need to go online and
So you always have to go online. There's nothing metal or rock and roll or like Jack. Pretty much whatever like your shit they don't have in Stockton. I always have to go to Sacramento. Stockton.
tell me
is
about it.
Boys to the hood. Stockton is eternally stuck in that movie. Boys like it's like that fucking movie like every '90s urban gang whatever fucking movie like that. Stockton's stuck in that era. We haven't
Yeah.
phased out of it. In 4 years, we'll be in 2030 and we'll still have street gangs. Are you serious? 2030 and you still got what the fuck you protecting, bro?
Yeah, I know. It's
It's kind of gay, isn't it? It's kind of lame. Like, bro, you 30 years old and you still in a fucking little street gang. Like, how you supposed to feed your family, bro? Like, come on.
yeah. Well, you know what? I think the cat maybe knows something that
The cat.
we don't.
Can the cat hear us? Can we, like,
Clean your paws, folks. Clean your paws. You never know what type of dirt is going to be left on you.
Can you spray that shit, please?
Yeah, but
But yeah,
all
man,
right.
I'm probably gonna head out. It's getting a little late for me.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up here. I just want to pull up a couple things real quick. First of all, the RTD, our bus service, San Joaquin Transit District, they're looking for board members, and you have until the middle of next month to apply. Yeah, hey, Scotty, if you're looking for a gig, maybe you should apply. You can be on the board of directors because apparently a bunch of the guys that were on have left after the debacle last month and a whole lot of stuff up in question. But anyway, yeah, they're looking for people, recruiting. So if you're a civic-minded individual, check them out. And then also coming up here in May is going to be the Stockton Scuffle. And I can tell you this, I went to the one last year, and it was good. It was a whole lot of fun. And so Paris Singh, local guy, great wrestler, he's going to be on the card. And I believe some of the ladies are going to be on the cards, have some of the women wrestlers. And, as we find out more about the card and who's going to be on it, we will be bringing you more on that from our friends in the TWF, Total Wrestling Federation. Will be returning to Stockton, Eagle Hall in May, so May 16th. So, we'll keep you up in that. And tickets, of course, are available on Eventbrite. Okay, that being said, guys, do your plugs. Alex.
Guys. Yeah, I hear you.
Unload the cat.
Guys, go check out Shady Mount Productions where you can get the news on everything entertainment, movies, TV shows, all that. We are back with some great TV shows that I'll be talking about this Sunday. Oh yeah, better stream because last week's streams was not that good. You know, I had a little mini crash out, but we're getting better. So yeah, check out Shady Mount Productions for that. Shady Mount Podcast Sundays, Sonic Waves on Saturdays. Okay, check out Port City Uncensored on Thursdays, right? What else? A&A Radio, N1 from the End Zone. Check out those. A&A Radio for finance, N1 from the End Zone for sports, Smacks for gaming as well. Check out our merch. Click on that QR code to subscribe to Port City Uncensored. Oh, where else are you going to learn about Stockton and its news?
That's right. Scotty.
Just you guys, really. Just Port City Uncensored and Shady Mount Productions. One's a great media company, and the other is great for your local news. Real gritty and shitty, baby.
All right. Okay. And yeah, like you said, thanks for everybody that tuned in. Hit that like button, please. It costs you nothing. It helps out the algorithm, helps us out. We appreciate it. And, yeah, we'll be returning next week. I believe we have another week to go before the next city council meeting, and that's always interesting. So we'll see what happens here on the street in Stockton. Oh, yeah, and Saturday, please tune in for our music show, Sonic Waves, where I will be sharing my return to the world of music. And more, and bringing you some new bands from around the world and all that good stuff. So that being said, guys, Alex, Scotty, thanks for tuning in. Shout out to our brother King and PV, who is out there somewhere in the Bay Area, and stay safe commuting. And we will see you guys next time. If I can find my outro, here we go.
Hit the like button!
Hey, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.
Port City Uncensored. Port City Uncensored. Port City Uncensored!